lives and our future lives, and how sometimes we are our own ancestors, and then we reincarnate into this life. It's all about the soul's journey through many different lifetimes, and that's as far as I know right now. But that's the kind of thing that's been coming through, is those kinds of ideas.
Well, I really believe in reincarnation. I had a detective, or a retired detective on my show back maybe 7 months ago. And what he does is, after he retired, he always was interested in reincarnation, and he became a hypnotist, a clinical one. And he that's what he does. He takes people back in past lives. And I asked him, I said, well, since you were a detective, have you ever checked out any of these, what they've claimed, their previous lives? And he goes, I have, and it scared me.
Right. And so, what's interesting though is, like, it's I think we'll get to a place where we won't be so much scared anymore. We'll be like super interested and super curious. But I think as we begin to just accept this as reality, we'll start to just realize it's more magical or fascinating or amazing than scary, I guess, is sort of how I'm starting to think about it. I'm going to go next April. I'm going with my publisher. They're taking a group of people to Egypt. And
wow.
I've seen many visions of these Egyptian past lives of being once again a scribe. I'm always a scribe. I don't know, but so I'm really intrigued as to what I'm going to feel when and people are welcome to come. That's a trip that everyone's welcome to come on. But I'm fascinated to understand what I'm going to feel and remember and recall when I'm in. I mean, I've never been any place like that before, and it's going to be astounding, I think. And I don't know, it's just such a rich place of rich past lives for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Like I was talking to somebody was in the jungles and stuff when they were in the Peace Corps years ago, and they were looking at all these, little pyramids out, in the middle of the jungles,
right.
And, it kind of like, it opened up, him, spiritually of like past lives and, like, just opened up a lot of things that he never, felt before.
Yeah. Or, our dog, we have a dog that's a Lhasa Apso, and Lhasa Apso it's a small dog. They're kind of long-haired, and you have to brush them a lot, but they were originally the Buddhist temple dogs, and we have a lot of past life, because you don't just have one past life, you have several, but I have a lot of also images of that Buddhist the Buddhist monasteries. When I see pictures, I really understand. Like I can remote travel there and see inside. And here, this little dog comes, to us out of nowhere, and it's a Lhasa Apso, the Buddhist temple dog. And I'm like, we know you. We've been together. What's your monk name? Because we've gone around already on this one, and so it's just kind of interesting.
So now, you mentioned you were married before, and when all these gifts started coming to you, I take it he couldn't take it and he left, or something happened where you guys split. How's your current husband, take, your gifts?
Oh, yeah. Well, my current husband, it's Dr. Steve Koch, and I say that because we do a lot of work together. Like when we go to East West Books, we're going to do some sacred music together and so forth. He came from his own very, very vast spiritual background, and so it was no issue for him at all. He's like, that's my language. I'm already speaking that language, no problem.
That's great.
So that's that's been a different story there.
Well, that makes me feel happy for you, because, I mean, to have somebody you're compatible with. I just had a guest on 2 weeks ago. She and her husband, he's a physic. I can't even say it. But anyway, and actually he's been doing a lot of research on her gifts. And, and he's with her 100%. So that's really good when you have a spouse that, is with what you do. It makes life a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, and I think when when it's your passion and it's your calling and all those kinds of things, and then and this doesn't have to be husband, wife, it could be two friends or brother, sister, or, but whenever you have that person that you're sort of in partnership with, whether you're ghost hunting or researching past lives or studying aliens or, whatever your passion is, it's so fun to do it with someone that's just as obsessed, as you are. That's always enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. Now, you mentioned you do a radio show. Is it a podcast or a radio show? Why don't you tell the people about that?
Oh, yeah. I do a Tuesday radio show out of, it's on KKNW in Seattle, and I do a live call-in show for psychic readings. So, and I've only been on KKNW a little while. Before that, I have been on a different station, an internet station, for almost, I think I'm going into my 8th year. So it's the same show. I've just moved around a little bit, but... and I've done a call-in show, a long time. So basically, I just open up the lines and people call in and then just do readings. So I guess I am still doing readings. I'm just not doing them privately.
What type of basic, when people call up when you're on your radio show, what type of questions do they basically ask you?
Most people ask about the type of people that call in for me are... They'll kind of ask about, are they on the right place on their life path? Or they often have questions about what kind of decisions should they make about, say, the work they're doing. Sometimes it's very tragic. People have health issues. And if people call in on relationships, almost always, like if they call in, you don't have to be psychic to know. Sometimes it's almost always the answer is going to be, it's not going to work. It's not working out. But hopefully there are some where it is working out too. But relationships are always a big topic too. But and a lot of times people call in about how do I connect with my guides? How do I open my intuition? How do I do mediumship? Those kind of nuts and bolts of teaching of how to do these psychic or intuitive skills. Oh,
wow. I had one guest on, it told me that what she hated is one time she was on a radio talk show and somebody called up and was asking her about their uncle who passed away, had a whole bunch of money. They couldn't find it. They knew it was hid in their house somewhere.
Yeah,
and wanted to know where it was at. And, she said that she just couldn't deal with that one.
Yeah, because that's not the direction we want to be moving towards
no.
Greed. We want to be moving away from that direction.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. She got such negative feeling from the person. They didn't care about their uncle. They only cared about where they hid their frickin' money. And yeah. How about, love life and, like that? Do you get many calls on that? Like, hey, I'm 35 years old. I've never had a girlfriend in my life, and I would like to get a girlfriend and get married, Have you had calls like that?
Well, I mostly it's not all, but it's more women call, and they tend to be a little bit older, so a lot of them are either married, divorced, or just done with that part of their lives. So that doesn't come up as much as it would, for a younger group, I guess. But the human questions, everybody wants to be connected and everybody wants to be stabilized, financially, and everybody wants to have fun and enjoy their lives. So, I think we all are kind of on the same, we have the same desires to feel good about ourselves and, be interested in what we're doing in our lives. So it's kind of like there's a lot of refrain there.
Wow. Well, I how can I say it? I mean, you're on your 7th book now, or going to be the 7th book, or 8th book?
Yeah, I think this one is this one's the 7th. So yeah.
How long does it take to put a book together? I mean, when they contact you or whatever, and you get on your little laptop there on the sofa, I mean, does this go on for days and days and days on, or
It kind of depends. So I will say the first book took it was the hardest thing I ever did in my whole life. I didn't think I was going to get through it. It took a really long time. And then the second book just kind of flowed. If it's a how-to book, like a teaching book of how to do an intuitive technique, pretty easy. Those go pretty fast, maybe several months. If it's this channeled style book, I actually need to wait for the channeling, and I have this sort of general inkling of what might be coming, but so far there's no word from the guide. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if this will be another, if another book is coming from the guides or not. I guess we'll just have to see.
I mean, does it go sometimes with a long period in between, or?
Yeah. 2004 was a tiny little bit of channeling. 2008 was the first big chunk. 2012, so 4 years, and then, almost 6 years until this one. So yeah, big stretches of time, and it's just, I'll sort of get this feeling, it's coming, and clear everything, and take a nap in the afternoon, because you're going to be getting up really early. It's been, I don't know why it comes or why there's a break, but that's just the process. So I just try and be available if hopefully it will come again. Hopefully that would be the case.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, all this started when you thought a plane was going to crash. Isn't it?
Right.
You really think about it, a person's life changes when they think, honestly, that their life is over. I mean, I mean, things happen, I mean, I've talked to a lot of psychics and even a few remote viewers. It all seems like something tragic in their life happened. And then, all of a sudden they, started getting the gift. So I don't know.
Yeah, life is an amazing mystery. I mean, it's just such a fascinating experience. Every day is just, it's going to be today. It's really something.
Oh, yeah. Hey, boy, this hour has gone by real fast. You know that, Sarah.
It has. I know it has. And we have, time is speeding up and slowing down and doing different things for us. It's great.
Well, again, mention the books, your website, and the radio station that you're on. And, let's get that out again.
Yeah. So the book is called Messages from the Divine, Wisdom for the Seeker's Soul. People can get it on Amazon, or you can just go to my website, SARAWISEMAN.com, and there you'll also find information on the radio show. And I've got another podcast too, and I've got a very complete website.
What's your podcast for people who can listen to it?
I've got another podcast called Spiritual Psychic, and that's not a live show, but that's just a series of short little stories, so you could listen for like a couple minutes, and they're just little shorts. And I think there's almost 200 of them, so they're pretty cool. They're like, if you're just bored at work, you could just listen to a little short and amuse yourself. But I think those are on iTunes, and yeah.
Okay, and then the iTunes, where they just type your name in, or is it a name of the show?
Yeah. They could do, if you put in Sarah Wiseman, you'd probably get the show is Ask Sarah, and then the podcast is Spiritual Psychic. You'd probably get both of those.
Okay.
They just pop up.
Okay, well, our time is gone. Hey, Sarah, I enjoyed talking to you. I did try and mention to the person that booked you that we probably should have went 2 hours. Knock on wood there. I mean, because there's so much you can go in deeper and deeper and deeper in this topic. But hey, I really enjoyed having you on.